it's Janelle. I wanted to do a quick video for you today regarding HOAs. So if you were reading my newsletter, we delved into a little bit of the background about HOAs and what they do. So I wanted to review some pros and cons for you since they are pretty common here in Georgia. So especially if you're getting a newer home, these new construction homes are usually in a subdivision and the HOA is mandatory. So pro number one is obviously the amenities. So it could be a pool, tennis court, basketball court, clubhouse, fitness room, etc. It really depends on the neighborhood and the association. So if you think about it, the cost of having separate memberships for these things, like a gym membership, and if you, I don't know, a country club membership, the cost of that would exceed typically the cost of your HOA. So if you think about it, paying one lump annual fee usually would be cheaper than paying the monthly fees for all these separate things. So pro number two would be the maintenance. So of course the HOA maintains all of these things, make sure there's nothing broken, tennis court looks clean, looks good. All of the street lights, if you have street lights, they're working. And of course they make sure that all of the residents are maintaining their properties and making sure nothing is getting dilapidated or old or, just messes up the property value of the community. And then lastly would be if there were any disputes that arose amongst the neighbors, usually the HOA can step in and mediate or, find a solution without having to go to court or something like that. Now for the cons. So con number one is it is a separate cost outside of your mortgage. So that's why it's important to find out how much the HOA is before you close on the house, and also ask for a copy of the covenants and restrictions so you can read about what the community is like, what they expect from the residents, because they can be pretty strict. And that leads me to con number two is the rules. So they can be very specific about a lot of things, from your landscaping, weeds, your grass is too dry, it's not green, painting the exterior of your house, doing your driveway, if you're building a fence, windows, anything that has to do with the exterior of the property, they probably have a rule about it. And then lastly, I would say another con is the lack of privacy. So the HOAs usually have to survey the neighborhood. So in my community, I see them driving around once or twice a month in the morning. It's kind of funny because they creep by really slowly because they need to get a good look of all the properties. So it's kind of weird sometimes to see them, or you might, get a notice in the mail like, hey, we see, actually I had one time where they saw one vine somewhere in the corner of my house and they were like, hey, you've got vines growing. And I was like, where? So I looked and I finally found it, but it's a little bit interesting depending on how strict they are. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. Do your research beforehand, and of course, if you're working with me, I will do my due diligence for you as well. So if you have any other questions about anything, feel free to give me a call, send me an email, hit me up on Instagram, whatever it is. But thank you guys. Have a great day.